up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back over in cold September, and we are in the middle of our MLCW war against Cremine SNC. I think I pronounced that right. War's looking pretty good on our end. We're tied up on triples, but they're +4 on attacks, so we should be able to pull ahead here pretty soon. 12s are looking really good. I think we're both hitting at like 50% on Town Hall 12, so kind of a battle of the 12s right now. Today we're going to be taking a look at some Queen Charge Lalo at Town Hall 12. In my opinion, and I would argue everyone's opinion, probably the strongest attack at Town Hall 12. Town Hall 13, it's very strong too, but you also have to kind of be more specific with the base that you choose to use it on because of the scatter shots. But at Town Hall 12, you don't have to deal with that. And we're going to be taking a look at how, basically just, how to approach a base with it. I don't think that there is a base at Town Hall 12 that can't be Queen Charge Lalo. So before we get into the breakdown and into the replays, go ahead and drop me a like. Just want to say thank you, for all the support, the subscriptions, sharing with your clan mates. We just recently passed 400 subs on the channel, so doing really well. I got some big things coming in the future, and just want to make sure that y'all realize that I really appreciate all the support and all the love that I've been getting. So, like I said, drop a like. If you haven't subbed already, go ahead and subscribe. And share it with your clan mates, share it with your friends. Kind of check out what I've been keeping up. Sorry if you hear any noise in the background. We're in the middle of a pretty big sandstorm here. So, if you hear any banging or anything like that, it's nothing I can really do about it. So, today we're going to be taking a look at this base and another one. So, how do we approach this base for Queen Charge Lalo? Alright, so if we're hitting with air, first thing we want to do is look at sweeper positions. So sweepers are pointed like this. Alright, so obviously if we're coming in with a queen charge, we're going to be looking to get as much value out of that queen charge as possible. So realistically, while charging into a sweeper is not the end of the world, there is opportunities to be had in the sections of the base that don't have to deal with sweepers at all, right? So if the sweepers are kind of covering two corners, the other two corners are more susceptible to a queen charge. All right, so Mad Raven here is going to be opting to come in. He's going to be doing a queen charge in this direction. And the reason why he's doing that is, one, he knocks out this air defense pretty early, and two, gives him access to the town hall, and then also the eagle. And then if you notice, kind of from that point of the base, if you mark out everything that's on this side, kind of forms up your L shape through the base going this way, right? So go ahead and unmark all this. So how's he gonna do it? Well, this was a fresh attack, and the way you kind of read how you're gonna set your funnel for your queen on a fresh attack is you pick the side of the base that you're gonna do the queen charge from, which we've already identified, and then you look at where are some places where Teslas might throw off your queen pathing, kind of where you want to get your queen to get into and start getting to work early on. So this space right here is very open for a Tesla farm, and then you have some opportunities in between these buildings here for Teslas as well. So since he's going to be bringing his queen in here, he's going to have to go ahead and get these buildings down in order to push her down in this way. So obviously, using something like a baby dragon over here would get these two buildings, but you also have to deal with the enemy king. The enemy king's range does kind of overlap with where you're trying to bring your queen. So instead of using like a baby dragon and a loon to get that down, he's going to go ahead and just use his king and a couple wizards, and they're going to clear the enemy king. And then if there is Teslas here, they will also, kind of help out with clearing all that out. So if there's Teslas up here, it's not really the end of the world because the queen can kind of knock those out on the way through the base. And then obviously if there's no Teslas there, then it'll be even quicker and even easier. He's also going to get the CC pool here, so dealing with the CC kind of before he enters the base, that makes it a lot easier on a queen charge. If he was dealing with the CC like in this area with this expo and this warden pad and this other expo and the town hall, kind of stalling up right here, he's going to have to burn through quite a bit of rages, maybe a freeze, just to kind of keep his queen alive. So dealing with the CC relatively early on an attack, especially on a queen charge, is more than ideal, right? So how are we going to get into this eagle compartment? Because as you can see, we also have the queen on the back side of the base, and that's kind of where we want to bring in our Lalo. So queen's way over there. Her range kind of only exceeds to the tip of the eagle. So we're going to have to come up with a way of getting our queen to get not only through the eagle, but into this area with the enemy queen. So recognizing that these two buildings here can be bowler bounced, because you know, two like buildings have the same HP, so a bowler can take them down. And then there's nothing barring any like Teslas, I guess here or here, that's going to interfere with that bowler bounce. So he's going to use a bowler bounce to get that down, which is going to go ahead and set the path for his queen to come here, kind of bounce this way, and then come into here. He's going to elect to use a wall break on this corner, and then he's going to also wall break onto this expo compartment. And what that's going to allow his queen to do is, once she starts clearing into this compartment with the warden, it's going to allow her to be able to step inside, deal with all these buildings here, all four of these, and then with the king funnel here, and then the bowler funnel here with the town hall down, she'll end up punching through this wall because there's nothing that's going to pull her down. You got this dead space channel here. The closest building on the top side will be this wizard tower, and this area that she's going to be in is going to be too far away for her to bounce out to go reroute towards that. So that's his plan for the queen and the CC, the town hall, and the eagle. And on a queen charge Lalo, it's not a must that you get the town hall or the eagle down early, but if you can get the eagle and town hall down early on a queen charge Lalo, you're really setting yourself up for a pretty simple back end. So how's he going to do the Lalo? Well, obviously you got 3 multi-infernos, which is not ideal for a queen charge or for a Lalo, but at town hall 12 it doesn't really matter what the infernos are set on, because you don't have to deal with the scatter shot. So when you combine a scatter shot with a multi-inferno, it really does become an issue. However, when you're at town hall 12, you can kind of haste and freeze through those, and you can kind of overwhelm the base with just your Lalo. So not a huge deal to be dealing with multi-infernos, which is why queen charge Lalo is just kind of insane at town hall 12, because you don't have to worry about the infernos. You don't really have to worry about scatter shots. You don't have to worry about an extra, you know, the royal champ or anything like that. So Lalo becomes very open at town hall 12. So his pathing is pretty solid for a Lalo. You know, if you bring in loons here, probably slammer from up top, maybe slammer on the wizard tower. The loons will go in here and then start pushing this way. Have some loons come in on this cannon, some loons coming in from down here, and then probably a group of loons coming in this way. And as you can see, as things start pushing in, your loons are coming straight through this channel. All your support loons are kind of pushing them forward, and you're going to use like your haste to kind of get through this portion of the base. Maybe a freeze at the beginning, or the tone at the beginning, and then the freeze in the middle. But it's pretty simple because the buildings are kind of laid out just to be almost like perfect support pathing, especially if you find that Tesla farm early. You don't really have to worry about finding Teslas on the outside on the back end. You know, you're going to go into this wizard tower, and that's going to kind of prevent anything from straying off from this. You're going to get this cannon down early, which is going to keep all your loons kind of going in this direction. Same thing with this archer tower. So pretty simple Lalo pathing. And if your queen beats through this wall, she'll end up wrapping through here, and then eventually picking up the enemy queen and also this sweeper. So this sweeper is kind of a nuisance, because as we saw, it's pointing this way, but with the queen punching through this wall, she comes in here, she'll start clearing all these buildings out, plus the eagle, and you won't have to fight a sweeper because the other one is pointed down south. So pretty simple plan. He makes it look pretty easy. As you can see, his troop comp, always bringing 10 minions. You're going to see him go ahead and start dropping those minions pretty early. The queen charge on this one is pretty lengthy, and you're going to see that with a queen charge Lalo, you have a little bit more leniency on time on your queen charge. So let's see how he goes ahead and approaches this. He's bringing 3 rages, 3 freezes, 3 haste, and 1 poison. So bowler bounce, no Teslas, everything's going good. Queen's getting to work. Now he's going to start his king funnel with those two wizards. Two wizards just pushing the queen back in using a Coco Loon. Now, at this point, you're a little bit concerned because if there's one Tesla here, there's probably 3 or 4 more here, which if he's trying to get his queen to go in this way, he needs these down, or at least these outer buildings here down, you know, because the queen can kill 2 Teslas from the top side of this wall right here, right? So if the Teslas are spaced 1 tile apart and the queen's here, she can knock out these and the warden pad and still be closer to this expo. But if he doesn't get these buildings down, then the queen will end up popping out this way. So he's going to go ahead and get that king down. The CC's coming out early, which, like I said, you know, it's ideal. Right now, all he has is the Tesla, the expo, and the warden platform shooting him. So he's going to get a rage down, and then he's going to pop his king ability and get all these trash buildings out of the way. Gets that first wall break in. Boom. Gets a freeze down for the warden because that warden does a ton of damage. And the hound pops pretty quickly underneath that rage. So he's not too concerned about that. King's doing a good job of clearing these last couple Teslas. Another Coco Loon just to double check because there was a Tesla farm there. So it's probably an ideal spot for like a seeking air mine or something. So here's Queen comes in. Finds another group of skellies, kind of forcing his queen to take quite a bit of time here, but she's going to go ahead and wrap back up. He's going to freeze the town hall once his queen gets there, and what you're going to see is he freezes it, finds a tornado, which again eats up more time, but he's going to freeze this town hall to the point where it's not going to do any damage to his healers. So he gets the expo and the town hall, and I think it only gets 1 shot off. So boom, queen's beating that wall just like we thought. And now we're going to go ahead and talk about the loon pathing. So even though there's an air defense right here, the slammer can kind of tank that for a while. These expos are all tanked on the queen. So the slammer pathing here is pretty solid. And then once he gets this kind of accounted for, you can see that he has really tight Lalo pathing coming in from 12, right? So everything, he's already found the Tesla, so he knows there's nothing to worry about out here. So the next time he would have to really support his loons is going to be on this archer tower, this mortar, and this archer tower. So using his Lalo to kind of wrap through this way and supporting this way, he's going to be able to push through the back side of the base. So queen's beating to that wall. There's that early minion just to start cleanup. I think he only has like a minute left in the attack. Gets the other minions down up top. And this is what I meant by the multi-inferno not being the biggest deal in the world. So multi-inferno's not doing a ton of damage. Slammer stays alive, almost at full health. Queen wraps this corner. She's going to end up taking out the enemy queen. Slammer's opening up the wall. Nice tome. Just keeping everything safe. Still got 2 haste. Still got 1 freeze. Queen ability. Going to take out the enemy queen. Save the ability. And this is just turning into overkill. At this point, he doesn't really need anything on the back end. He's got a freeze, so he's going to haste just to make sure everything stays in here. Get that next freeze down. And he's got so many loons. I mean, he's got the max level loons. Nothing on this back end. Doesn't matter how many wizard towers there were. Nothing was going to stop the end of this Lalo. And then plenty of cleanup down early. Gets all these buildings done. Everything kind of ending at 6 o'clock. And what you don't want is especially on a Lalo where you push your queen kind of hard, you don't want anything here unaccounted for cleanup. So when you start your Lalo, you want to make sure you start sprinkling in those troops as your Lalo comes through. Saves a ton of time. Doesn't really even need the queen ability, but that was a very nice Lalo from Mad Raven. And now we're going to be looking at, is it this one? No. Lord had a 6-pack. We'll take a look at that in another video. Where's the other one? All right, Minda. All right, so Minda is going to be doing something. He's going to be kind of going opposite. So in the beginning, I talked about, getting the eagle and getting the town hall and the queen charge Lalo kind of saves you a bunch of trouble. Well, in this one, he's not going to be getting either one of those. So let's go ahead and look at the sweepers. Sweeper pointed this way. Sweeper pointed this way. So, like I said, when the sweepers are pointed towards corners, you kind of have the opposite corners to work with. But Minda is actually going to be coming directly into a sweeper because the sweeper is actually going to be kind of providing him a little boost. So let's say the sweeper is this way, and then the infernal range over here is, I mean, it's a little bit bigger than that, but this is just for reference. He's going to be bringing his queen in, and he wants his queen to wrap in this way, and then he wants to jump her in here so she can start clearing out all of these buildings in here and all these buildings on the outside here, and then pretty much accounting for everything in here, especially the enemy queen and the CC. Now, if he was doing that and the sweeper wasn't pointing that direction, this inferno you'll see during the attack would cause a problem. But since he angles his healers to kind of come in right behind the queen, the sweeper is going to be blowing the healers away from that inferno. So he's using that to his advantage on this attack. And he's going to be using his king down here, kind of clear out the funnel for the queen. And I believe that's how he does it. Charging his queen in here. And then you're going to see he's going to get pretty much everything here with his queen, right? So everything here is kind of marked off. That's going to be his nice heavy queen charge. So what is left in the base? Well, if you come down here towards 6, there's no air defense. There's a cannon, a mortar, and a bomb tower, a couple archer towers. So this is kind of like an ideal spot for the slammer, because the slammer not only takes these buildings out in one shot, kind of get clean up down early, but it's also creating Lalo pathing, because he's going to want to come this way with his Lalo. And then with the slammer, with the loons like kind of being in here, when the slammer pops, those max level loons can go straight for the eagle. So he's going to have like a nice swooping motion here, everything kind of pushing through this top side inferno, a couple support loons in here, a couple support loons over here, kind of getting this direction, pushing through the town hall, early tome, and then wrapping and finishing off here. And you're going to see he's going to get the cleanup down on this side, cleanup down on this side. Queen, you know, is responsible for this top side of the base, and everything is going to be ending here at like the 12 o'clock compartment. So again, you know, queen charge Lalo, you kind of just have to figure out how you want to enter the base, figure out the right entrance for the base, and you can pretty much do anything. So really nice attacks right here. Minda's going to come in here, he's going to crush this base. He's bringing a couple more minions because the base is a little bit more wide, and he wants to make sure that he gets enough cleanup down across the base in order to, you know, make sure he prevents a time fail. So queen gets started. Good point to make here is he gets this early wizard down on this siege factory, but if you notice, he's taking advantage of the spacing here between these two buildings, because if he takes this down and you add in the 2 tiles here, that's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be 7 tile gap between the queen and any other defenses on this side of the base. So his queen, even if she bounces, you know, this way to take out this after she's taken this down, she still has no other direction to go except into the queen charge. So it's kind of delaying his healers. It's always kind of risk when you have these air defenses on the outside. So now here's that inferno range. You can start seeing the healers are going to be creeping up into this inferno range. Pretty much as his queen starts coming here, the healers are going to, see they start creeping a little bit closer. And you're going to start seeing what I mean by the sweeper being used to his advantage on this one. So King does a great job down here. Pops the abilities, clearing all these buildings. Sweeper's just keeping these healers safe. I don't even think they ever come in range of the Inferno. Boom, nice job. Still has 2 rages. Gonna go ahead and get that next rage down. Poisons over the queen, which is, you know, very ideal, because at this point there's only 1 expo on her. So taking that queen down underneath the poison, slowing all that damage down, saves them a freeze. Gets the slammer going. And look at those minions coming out early. Again, I time fail quite often, so I try to preach to you guys. I don't know what the saying is, those who can't teach or whatever, because time failing sucks. So ends up finding 2 Sams out there, probably trying to defend the queen from walking into the town hall. Gonna be really patient though, nothing out there, like we said, to target those loons. Queen ends up getting the eagle down, which is huge. And now he's got the town hall activated. Gonna freeze it because he wants to save his max level loons. Get an early haste down with the tome. Still got 10 loons in the bag. Got some support loons coming up top. And of course, you know, kind of practicing what I always preach is he's supporting his main pack of loons coming through this channel by keeping these loons pushing inside to that channel, keeping his loons in here safe. And he's got 2 haste spells to get through the backside of his base. Still got 9 minions. Queen's still alive, or the queen actually just died. But he's got a bunch of minions down here. He's probably gonna get some minions down here at 3 o'clock. Yep, there they go. And like I said, you know, the multi-inferno, just not a big deal at Town Hall 12. It's got so many loons right here. This backside multi starts putting a little bit of work, but as you can see, I think he's got like 15, 16 loons left. Not going to be an issue. Gets in there, takes them all down. 6 minions in the bag. Just kind of waiting patiently, put them down. Puts 3 more down here, just so he can start getting the storage, or the clan castle. And puts a couple more up top. Loon's going to finish up there. Everything collapsing. And that base was crushed. And again, that was another fresh attack, so these aren't all like cleanups or anything like that. He doesn't know what's in the CC. He doesn't know where traps are. Doesn't know anything about the base. So Queen Charge Lalo, in my opinion and a lot of people's opinions, the strongest attack at Town Hall 12. I'm going to be bringing you a P.E.K.K.A, I think it's a P.E.K.K.A Smash and a hybrid, and that will kind of complete my strongest attacks at Town Hall 12 series that I'm doing this week. So be on the lookout for that the next couple days. But really good job from these 2 attackers. It's always nice to see some fresh Queen Charge Lalo. Town Hall 12 looks like it's a lot of fun right now. The balance is pretty good. I mean, I say balance is pretty good in comparison to Town Hall 13. Even though at Town Hall 12, like I said, you could pretty much Queen Charge Lalo any base. So maybe it's a little bit skewed. But I'm probably just going off the nostalgia because Queen Charge Lalo at Town Hall 13 is pretty difficult and I miss doing it. So... but that's it for this video, guys. Thank you all for the support. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, comment on it. Let me know what you want to see. Share it with your clanmates, yada, yada, yada. I just want to say thank you to my wife. I'm glad you enjoyed your vacation. And thank you for getting back after it and editing and uploading all these videos for me. All right, guys, take it easy.